course, was knocked out of the Women's Championship Tournament by Sumi Sakai at NEW 5, but is looking to the young buck from Alberta, Zoe Sager, hoping to get back on the winning track.
Nicole Matthews looking to kick off this show with a bang. The ring is a match, and she is kerosene, ready to pop it off here tonight at NEW 6.
And Vancouver is her home turf. These fans are not going to let you forget that. Always a cheery reception from local audiences for a local legend like Nicole Matthews.
Ton of respect from the fan base here in Vancouver for Nicole Matthews.
She's the shimmer taker for the respect paid to her in that locker room. She's the Van City taker in some ways as well.
Absolutely.
Zoe Sager about to find that out as this match already underway. Our first match of the evening here.
And you had mentioned Zoe Sager making her second appearance for NEW. Came up a little bit short in that triple threat with Bambi Hall and Taryn from Accounting at NEW 5, but what a great show.
She sure did, yeah, and the strength of her for her diminutive size. Nice little takedown arm drag from Nicole to get things started as Matthews looks to work the elbow, but look at the flexibility of the spry Zoe Sager to work her way out of that one.
As mentioned previously, Zoe Sager trained by the legendary Lance Storm, Canadian wrestling royalty.
She's got a little more personality than Lance, fortunately.
Not hard to do, Justin.
And that's no shade to a Canadian legend in his own right, who has trained plenty of that rising crop of Canadian talent, both in the men's and women's divisions. Sager, a sterling example of that, as Nicole looks to work her way out of a headlock and put Sager in one of her own. And a nice little takedown, but Sager with the reversal, able to spin it into a submission.
It'll be interesting to see how Zoe Sager stacks up in this match. Obviously, the experience edge going to Nicole Matthews. Zoe Sager, relatively new, only 3 years in the business so far.
Again, look at these two, just reversal, reversal, reversal. Neither able to get the upper hand in the early going of this one, and I talked about the warm reception on our home turf for Nicole Matthews. Zoe Sager, though, getting some reactions from this crowd as well. She's earned some new fans in that one showing she's had thus far, and probably going to have a few more by the end of the night here as well.
Absolutely, being on the lookout for that running X factor she uses as a finish in her matches.
First pin attempt, and the second one now for Sager, able to get a 1 count, but Nicole kicks out both times.
Still in the feeling each other out stage of this match. Nicole giving respect to the newcomer Zoe Sager.
Thinking to herself, perhaps, though, that this is a young buck with plenty still to learn, as you're not going to put Nicole Matthews away this early, though she did try on multiple occasions with successive roll-ups. Now it's Matthews going to work.
Matthews trying to get back on track here in NEW, losing in the semifinals in both the NEW Championship Tournament and in the Women's Championship Tournament.
And really, other than that first round victory she had in the chase for the championship back at Studio Nightclub, it's been a bit of a rough go here in the early stages of Nation Extreme Wrestling for Nicole Matthews when it comes to her win-loss record. Hoping to get back, as we said, on track in that regard. And
what better way to do that than turning her focus to one of the brightest up-and-coming stars in Canadian women's professional wrestling.
Perhaps, though, Zoe Sager still has something to learn as far as home turf and whose territory she's standing on right now. And standing is the operative word, as she landed clean on her feet out of that little attempt and is able to reverse that clothesline try from Nicole into a pinfall, but kick out for Matthews.
Beautiful Ricky Steamboat S arm drags from Zoe Sager.
Enziguri from Sager. She's hoping that'll be it, but Nicole able to get the shoulder up at 2. But you can hear the cries of "Go Zoe" from this Vancouver crowd already. She runs elbow first into the jaw of Nicole Matthews, but is pushed off as she tried to go for a running bulldog. What a slam there. Zoe taking some punishment from Matthews as Nicole's just getting warmed up. 2 count from the official, but Matthews not protesting at all. She knows She's got some work to do to put this one away. Stomp to the spine of Zoe Sager, who's feeling it right now.
Maybe that early respect we saw in the match is already out the window with that stomp to the spine from Nicole Matthews.
Nicole perhaps having to dig deep into her bag of tricks. Maybe a little deeper than she might want in front of her home crowd. We don't see the nastiness of Nicole Matthews in Vancouver all that often, but there is that side to her.
Well, in the late stages of some matches, she definitely loses the technical ability and just starts brawling with people.
We called her the Alex Burrows of professional wrestling
sure
last
did.
month. I don't know that she appreciated that comparison all that much. But it's stuff like this is the reason why. She just had her hands right in the face of Zoe Sager as she brings her up for that surfboard stretch. Oh my!
Turning it into a straitjacket choke.
And this will be a huge test of the strength of Sager to try and muscle her way out of this one. And she's able to do it. Back to her feet. A nice swift kick to the thigh of Matthews. And Sager's back in business. Now it's Zoe on the attack. Punches in the corner. Hook the leg, and she's wrenching that knee hard. Referee Jaden having to get the 5 count to break that one. Sager with an exclamation point, a drop kick right onto that knee that she was just working over the turnbuckle.
Matthews using that veteran savvy to reverse that into a clothesline. Back in control after quite the salvo from Zoe Sager, and that kick to the spine. Wow.
Nicole Matthews is in control at the moment, Jordan, but I wonder if that look on her face says she's not expecting the fight that Sager's brought to her so far.
Well, that's one thing we've seen from Zoe Sager in limited appearances here in NEW is for a smaller wrestler, her durability is one of her more underrated attributes.
She's got the heart of a lioness. As now it's her turn to take a shot inside the knee from Nicole Matthews, giving it right back to her, and you can tell that she perhaps feels a little bit disrespected as a veteran going up against something of a rookie, at least out here on the West Coast, in Zoe Sager.
Zoe Sager sitting under the learning tree of Nicole Matthews right here tonight.
She's taking some chops. Now a stiff kick right across the chest, and that'll crumple Sager back into the ring. Matthews, though, looks like she's just warming up.
You got to also believe both these women want to use this match as a springboard in the women's division rankings. We don't know who the first ever women's champion in NEW is going to be. We'll find out later tonight. But this match could very well determine who their first challenger will be.
Absolutely. Sumi Sakai versus Casey Spinelli coming up later on this evening to determine the first ever NEW women's champion. But you're right, Jordan. We may be looking at a key contender to challenge for that belt over the months ahead here, over the course of the summer. This match very important for jockeying for position in those standings. Zoe Sager with plenty to prove. A Pele kick into the face of Nicole Matthews. Looking for that bulldog again, not able to get it. Matthews with a reversal, and now a running kick from Sager will take Matthews clean off her feet. Listen to this crowd. Sager. A running bulldog off the turnbuckle, or that might have been a cutter. Either way, Nicole able to get the 2 count, but not via kick out. She just got her hand on the ropes.
Veteran savvy. She always knows where she is in that ring.
Matthews able to intercept as Sager was up on the top turnbuckle looking for some aerial offense. And it's going to be Nicole, I believe, who will get the better of this exchange. She's looking for a superplex, but there's still some fight in Zoe Sager yet.
Nicole almost taking it personally that this hometown crowd of hers is chanting more for Zoe Sager here.
She She is the underdog, certainly when it comes to the size disparity between these two, but not when it comes to strength, as we just saw right there.
Beautiful queen suplex from Zoe Sager. Did not know she had that in her repertoire.
And the look on her face, she did not know that Nicole had it in her repertoire to kick out of a move like that. Impressive stuff. As now Sager looking for a submission. Locking in the rings of Saturn, it looks like.
Rings of Sager.
Absolutely, and Nicole able to roll it back to a pin, perhaps to break that submission attempt, as now she's got perhaps a crossroads in mind, and Sager able to work her way out of that as well. Zoe just landing blows, continuous forearms to the face of Matthews, and Nicole dishes one right back.
How many times have we seen that so far in this match? 3 or 4 shots from Sager, and it takes 1 from Nicole Matthews to change that momentum.
Certainly the tale of this one thus far, but Sager able to get the shoulder up ahead of that 3 count. Matthews certainly in control right now with just elbow after elbow into that sternum area of Zoe Sager. So going up, and a suplex that just spiked her right on her skull. Matthews with the cover.
And there's that durability of Zoe Sager kicking out of that brainbuster.
You can see the effect of it though. She's clutching her neck as she was down. And now they're arguing with the referee. Referee Jaden having to assert that that was indeed a 2 count, both to the protestations of Nicole Matthews and her cheering contingent in the crowd as well.
Zoe Sager did agree that it was a 2 count.
Yes. More strikes right back to the face of Zoe Sager, forearm after forearm, and how much can she have left? A little bit. She just popped Nicole with a punch to the face and then flipped a bird right in her eyes as well.
Zoe Sager not going quietly to the legendary Nicole Matthews.
Little stone cold Zoe Sager at the moment, as she's fired up and has found a second wind as we get into the late stages, I have to imagine, in this match.
Oh, running knee into the corner.
And Nicole Matthews, the lights are on, but I don't know if anyone's home right now after that running knee.
Sager taking up to Brett's rope.
Nicole able to catch her, though, out of that Hurricane Rana attempt, and what a power bomb. Power being the operative word.
Nicole Matthews locking into cravat there, hitting some knees.
Nicole looking for a submission. Zoe awfully close to the ropes, though. We'll see if she can find her way out. No, she taps. Nicole Matthews gets the victory via submission and finds her way back in the win column. What an opener, though, here at NEW 6.
Looked like an omoplata, looked like a cravat. That was a cravatoplata, I think.
Cravatoplata. She calls it the Cravatoplata, does Nicole Matthews, and it just won her the match.
Great showing from Zoe Sager, though. We were very excited to see her here in NEW. She made a lot of new fans here tonight as well.
Again, that's been the case over and over, more and more with each appearance. This crowd just becomes so firmly behind Zoe Sager.
And a great show of respect there for the present and the future of Canadian women's wrestling.
Absolutely. It's just a matter of running up against an opponent with a little more experience and a little more power.